It started with a phone call I almost didn't answer. "Emma, I need a huge favor," said Riley, my college roommate, someone I hadn't spoken to in 2 years. Her voice was shaky. "Can you pretend to be my wife?" I laughed, thinking it was some twisted prank. But she wasn't joking. Her dying grandmother had only one wish: to see Riley married and settled. Riley had lied. She told her she already was, to me. I didn't know what else to say, she confessed. "You were the only one I ever trusted. Please, just one weekend." She's in hospice. It would mean the world to her. I should have said no. It was reckless, insane, emotionally dangerous. But hearing Riley's voice again, I remembered everything: the late nights, the shared bed during winter storms, the stolen glances we never dared speak about. So I said yes. I arrived at the hospital 2 days later, holding her hand like a real wife would. Her grandmother smiled, frail and warm. "You're even more beautiful than Riley said," she whispered. "Take care of each other. Forever." The weight of those words haunted me. We weren't forever. We weren't even real. We kept up the act. Smiling, holding hands, sharing stories Riley made up about our marriage, the little apartment in New York, our dog named Waffles, Sunday pancake rituals. But something strange started to happen. It stopped feeling fake. Riley would brush my hair behind my ear when no one was looking. I caught her staring at me when I wasn't paying attention. We started finishing each other's sentences again, just like college. One night, after her grandma had fallen asleep, we sat on the hospital balcony. The cold wind cut through my sweater, and Riley offered her jacket. "I forgot how easy it was to be with you," she said, barely audible. I didn't reply. I couldn't. My heart was a ticking bomb. Then she asked, "Was it ever more for you back then?" I froze. My throat tightened. "Yes," I said, trembling. And she said nothing. Not a word. Just silence so loud it pierced me. I had just cracked the lie open. Her grandmother passed away 3 days later. Peacefully. Smiling with our wedding photo clutched in her hands, one we had taken in front of a borrowed floral arch, faking vows with tearful eyes. The funeral was quiet. Afterward, I expected things to fall apart, to be thanked, maybe hugged goodbye, and forgotten. But Riley didn't let me leave. "We need to talk," she said. We sat in the same coffee shop we used to go to in college. She looked pale, nervous. "I felt something, too," she confessed. But I didn't know what to do with it. I still don't. My heart jumped and then sank. "I don't want this to end," she added, reaching across the table. "But I don't know how to make it real. We started with a lie, Emma." I nodded. "But it doesn't mean the feelings are lies." We sat there unsure, afraid, hopeful. After the funeral, I flew back to my city, back to my job, my apartment, my small, quiet life. Riley stayed in hers. No promises were made. No labels were spoken. But we texted every day. Some nights we'd call and talk until morning, about everything: her grief, my doubts, that weird dream she had where we had twin girls and I burned the toast. Then, after 2 months of limbo, she showed up at my doorstep. No warning. Just a suitcase and tears. "I don't want to pretend anymore," she said, voice shaking. "I want to try. For real. With you." I stared at her, unsure if I was still dreaming. She continued, "I don't care how it started. I only care where we go now." I pulled her in, hugged her so tight it hurt. I had waited years to hear those words. This time, we weren't faking anything. We moved in together, slowly, clumsily, learning each other again. The quiet arguments over toothpaste caps, The late-night dancing in the kitchen, the mornings where she kissed me without a word. Some days were hard. Riley struggled with guilt, over the lie, over the grief, over the confusion. I struggled with fear of losing her again, fear of trusting a love that came from a performance. But we worked through it. Together. One night, exactly a year after her grandmother passed, we visited her grave. Riley placed fresh roses on the stone and whispered, "You were right. She really does take care of me." I squeezed her hand. And in that moment, I realized something. What began as a lie gave us permission to say what we were too scared to admit before. It pushed us out of hiding into something true. We started as a fake couple, but now she's my real home.